Welcome to this month's Property TV. I'm Ian Thomason from Thomason Property, and as usual we have a market update with Kevin Turner. I'm interviewing two arborists, Nick Smith and Henk Morgans from Evergreen Tree Care, and then of course we'll be looking at our feature property of the month. But before we go any further, let's go straight to Kevin Turner. Thanks, Kevin.
Well, the popularity of home renovation reality shows like The Block and Renovators has encouraged more Australians to undertake their own renovations, putting them at risk of deadly diseases caused by exposure to asbestos fibres. That's according to Asbestos Diseases Foundation of Australia. Now, if you are thinking about renovating or doing any home maintenance and you'd like to know more, you can visit asbestosawareness.com.au to learn where asbestos can be found in the home and how best to manage it. And finally, more than 3/4 of landlords are feeling positive about their property investments despite falling prices. A new report by research group BDRC Jones Donald says 77% of investors are positive about their real estate investment, and 1 in 5 plan to buy another property within the next 12 to 18 months. According to BDRC, the increase in confidence can be attributed to rising rental incomes and low vacancy rates. On the flip side, however, 42% believe being a landlord has become harder in recent times. That's all for now. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm Kevin Turner. We're here to talk real estate.
Whether you're following the property market or just interested in what's going on, Australasia's #1 independent real estate advisor, Kevin Turner, has the answers. Every Saturday 8 to 9 on 4BC.
Well, thanks for that, Kevin. As usual, it's very interesting information. Now, earlier this week we caught up with Nick Smith and Henk Morgans of the Evergreen Tree Care, and what I'd like to do now is take you to that interview. Well, here we are today with the guys from Evergreen Tree Care. We've got Nick Smith and Henk Morgans. They are both arborists, and we'd like to now go to a couple of questions that I think our audience are going to find really interesting.
Well, good morning, Ian. Well, firstly, I think we draw a distinction between what is a tree lopper and an arborist by the person's attachment to the tree, and the arborist certainly has a passion and a care for the tree and has a scientific and ethical responsibility for the tree, whereas the tree lopper generally doesn't have that. So, we care for trees, and that's what an arborist is all about.
So what you're saying, Hank, if I was to talk to you, you're saying that if someone's got a tree to lop, that they should get a professional, get an arborist to do it rather than a tree lopper.
Pretty much, there's no real situation that a tree should be lopped. It brings into a whole lot of structural problems and liability for insurance as well. So, you should always prune a tree or remove it. That's your two options.
Okay, well, this time of year we're in an interesting time where we've got these severe storms that have been coming through, and we're all watching the news and seeing branches through houses, etc. So what would you recommend that people do to minimise damage?
I think correct assessment and observing tree behaviour is a good thing. Employing an arborist to come out there and assess those trees, and obviously correct maintenance and pruning, reducing the disturbance of the trees where possible, and just overall observation. If you know that your tree does have a possibility of being unstable, and some trees do in the urban environment, then certainly you need to employ an arborist to either come out and give you a consultation, and they can give you a very good indication as to what needs to be done, and then recommend those works that are suitable and obviously adhere to the Australian standard.
Hank, one of the things that, or comments that I've heard from people when we talk about looking after trees and maybe pruning them, is people are scared that they're going to have someone come in, hack their tree, and come back and find that 70% of it's gone. It's looking really ugly, and of course you can't glue branches back on. What's your comment to that?
I guess you just have to be really confident with the person who comes to give you the quote, and if you feel uneasy, get a second opinion. But generally a qualified arborist will apply to the Australian standards, and you'll find that generally the tree won't change in aesthetical value. It'll just change in structural, minimising the dangerous or dead wood or diseased and redundant growth through the tree. So we're just going through and making it reduce the hazard through the canopy of the tree.
Okay, well, there's another topic that I'd really like to talk to you about, and that's the issue of trees overhanging boundaries and the problems associated with dealing with those issues, and that's something that we come across quite regularly. But we're running out of time today, so what I'd like to do is invite you back at some time in the near future, and maybe that's a topic I'm assuming you'd be happy to discuss.
Certainly we can help you out with that, yeah.
All right, well, Nick and Hank, thanks very much for that. Been really interesting. I look forward to catching up with you again soon. And now we'll head off to our feature property of the month. I'm Ian Thomason from Thomason Property, and today we're at number 33 Raceview Avenue, Hendra. This is a fantastic location. This property actually backs onto the Doomben Racecourse, and right in front of this house, or at the back of this house from the balcony, you can see the start right opposite the starting gates. Features in this place is the double living areas. There's a big, huge balcony at the top which looks over the racecourse, and then underneath that there's another one which is adjacent to the pool and the backyard. Yeah, it's got stone bench tops, Miele appliances, pantries, appliance cabinets. This property's got 5 bedrooms. The home's air conditioned with multi-zone air conditioning in all levels, and there's a security camera at the front door with security screens inside. Number one, it's close to everything. It's close to the Gateway Bridge, it's close to the airport, it's handy to Racecourse Road, and of course it's very close to the city. So that's it for this month. If you'd like some information on that property, don't hesitate to contact me on the number on the screen. Alternatively, I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you again next year.